Hi, today I'm going to share with you 5 pricing mistakes that I made when I started freelancing. The first and most important one is still thinking as a full-time employee, because during your full-time employment, your employer takes care of your taxes and pay time off, and when you transition to being self-employed, all this becomes your responsibility. To figure out the amount you have to pay in taxes, just contact an accountant or contact the authorities in the country where you are going to conduct your business. Pay time off is a little bit more complicated. I learned this the hard way because I was already vacationing when I realized that I'm going to send out an invoice with half the money I was usually charging. So yeah, I suggest that when you're coming up with your rate, just don't expect that you are going to work non-stop 40 hours a week for the entire year. The other mistake I was doing is just looking at what other developers were offering for a certain job. I remember on Upwork, there was this thing called bid range where you could see what other developers were offering for a certain job. And the problem with that is that you're going to constantly see this tendency of lowballing some complex tasks and projects. And the reason why you shouldn't use that as your indicator for setting your rates is that the person or the company who hosted the job can always say like, okay, this is a really important task for me. I want to get a higher quality here, so I'm not even going to look at the lowest offers. I never did this, but when I was first looking for freelancing services, I realized that this is not uncommon and developers are doing this. So never handle failed deals by trying to adjust the price that you already set. And this actually happened to me. So a developer was asking for an hourly rate, and I said, no, this is not going to work. And they were like, okay, we can go lower. And I was shocked because that just raised too many questions in me. Like, okay, you can go lower, so that means, am I going to get a lower quality, or something is going to be missing at the end of the work, or why you would do that? That just doesn't make sense. Set your rate and just stick to it. Also, just avoid cheap clients. Those are the clients who are trying to shave off a few dollars. So, for example, if you already set a rate and you said, okay, this work is going to cost this much, and your client goes like, okay, can you go lower by, I don't know, a random 10%? People who understand the value that you're eventually going to create for them are either going to accept your offer or just say straight like, okay, it's too much. So yeah, just avoid those kind of clients unless maybe it's your first gig and you really need that 5-star rating to get your stuff rolling. Rigid pricing will cost you dollars because you will undercharge some jobs where you could have charged more. Based on job descriptions, you can see if the project needs to be done under 24 hours or it's a more relaxed project. So just have a different pricing ready for those too. And later in your career, you might also want to switch from hourly based pricing to project based pricing, because getting better at what you do will be punished if you continue doing all the work based on hourly rates. Being new on any platform is always tough, especially when clients have access to all your metrics, like how many stars you have, your recent ratings, what kind of projects you've worked on. So yeah, just keep that in mind when someone is looking at the applications for their project. They are actually going to check out all these metrics, and yes, it matters if you have 5 stars or you have 0. Maybe to stay competitive in the beginning, just set a lower hourly rate than you would usually set. And do this until you build up a solid 5-star rating. And after a few projects, you can increase or set the hourly rate that you initially wanted to set. Let me know in the comments below if you faced any of these problems and also what kind of solutions you've come up with. And yeah, that would be all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.